Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So today's message is all about the interim price increase that we're going to put out on June 21st. I mentioned it briefly in my last video. Now I want to walk you through why we need to put this price increase in place. I want to share with you our thought process on how we're going to do the price increase, and then give you some suggestions on how to prepare yourself so that you can prepare your customers for the increase. Okay, so first of all, the why. You guys are seeing it everywhere, right? You're experiencing it in your own lives. You're watching inflation and just dramatic increases in raw materials, things like lumber through the roof. And what's happening is the global supply chain is trying to get back in gear and come out of this, come out of what we've experienced during the pandemic. That's causing some fits and starts, okay? And there's a lot of bottlenecks in that supply chain. So I'm very aware and conscious of the fact that we have always done a January price increase, and then we've left the price increase alone until the following January. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we need to pass along a price increase, okay? And we're going to share with you the raw information so you can see the price increases that we're actually getting, all right? So the blended or weighted average of the price increases that we've gotten from our vendors since January is about 8%. Some products have gone up a lot more. Some products have gone up less. So for example, bins, right? Metal bins. The storage solutions that you sell to your customers. We got a 28% price increase for those, okay? On other products, we might have gotten a 2 or 3% price increase. So what we want to do is we want to blend those out. And this is in consultation with the Franchise Advisory Council. They felt strongly, and I agree with them, that the best thing to do is to not pass the price increases along by item, but to spread that out across the entire product offering. So that's what we're going to do. So when you go and you review the price increase, you're going to see about an 8% increase across the board. There will be some exceptions. The Franchise Advisory Council also identified some key items that they thought we were already pushing the limits on in terms of what we can charge for them. And so you'll see some items that have less than an 8% price increase or maybe haven't been touched at all. But in total, it's going to be about an 8% price increase across the board. Okay, so I think there's 4 things that you guys need to do to get ready. All right, step 1 is get into Peppery so that you can get educated. You need to be educated on the Consumer Price Index, which is kind of the overarching kind of indicator of what's going on with inflation. And then I think you also need to get educated on individual price increases from vendors so you can be prepared to talk about your customers. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to jump into Peppery. Okay. So you guys are all familiar with this, with the landing page here at Peppery, and you just go down to the Franchise Toolkit. Click on the Franchise Toolkit. That's going to take you to the Toolkit landing page. And if you scroll down, here's our vendor price increase information. And I want you to click on the Learn More section. Okay. Once you get to Learn More, the first thing is read a little bit about and look at the details around the Consumer Price Index. If you click View Details, it's going to take you to a PDF document, and that PDF is going to walk you through what's going on with the price of steel, non-ferrous metals, and some other products, so you can understand at a high level what's going on with inflation. Okay, and then beyond that, if you go down, you can search by category and by specific vendors. These are the actual price increase announcements that we got from our vendors. And you can go in there and you can download those and see what they've sent to us, okay? And this is not 100% of them, but it's a large sampling across a broad range of our products. And so, again, I encourage you to go in there and educate yourself on what's going on with CPI and take a look at some of these price increase announcements so that you can get familiar with what we're experiencing. You can understand kind of the raw information and what's driving the need to put the price increase through, okay? So that's step number 1. Okay, step number 2 is to prepare your customers. The best person to determine how you're going to inform your customers and what you're going to share with them is you. Okay. What I want to do is just make the information available to you. Okay. I was a salesperson for a lot of years, and I lived through some periods of hyperinflation, and it creates a lot of tension. Your customers are nervous. You're nervous. My personal opinion is the best thing to do is be transparent and help educate them on what's going on in the marketplace. Okay. And what we'd like you to do is hopefully utilize the information that we're providing to you between the information on CPI and some of the actual price increase information so you can help educate your customers to the extent you want to prepare them for it. We think that's step number 2. Okay. Step number 3, we're going to do the price increase just like we did in January through Peppery. Okay. So the preview in Peppery will be available no later than June 14th. We're trying to get it done a little bit earlier than that. That's a Monday. And we will notify you as soon as we have it in. So the goal is no later than June 14th. We get the preview in so you can look and see what's going on with pricing. So you can review that. That's step number 3. Okay. And then step number 4 is you got to decide whether or not you want to participate in the margin protection program. Okay. You're automatically in the margin protection program. We have a lot of new franchises. We've started 30 new franchises this year. So I want to just talk briefly about what the margin protection program is. So unless you opt out of margin protection, whatever the price increases are to you, okay, in your franchise costs, we will automatically increase those prices to your customers in Peppery. You don't have to touch anything, okay? And you're automatically in that program. You have the ability to opt out of margin protection, okay? In order to opt out of margin protection, you have to contact customer service directly and tell them that you don't want to participate in margin protection, okay? If you decide that you want out of margin protection, we're asking that you do that by noon on June 17th, okay? So worst case, you're gonna get to be able to preview on Monday the 14th, and we're gonna ask you by Thursday, June 17th at noon to make the decision if you want out of margin protection. Just remember, if you opt out of margin protection, you are still going to get the increases. Your franchise costs are going to go up, but your customer prices are going to stay the same, which means your net margins will go down unless you go in and you manually adjust pricing. Okay. So that's step number 4, right? So again, 4 steps: get educated, use the tools that we've provided, and we will continue to add stuff to the toolkit as we get more price increases. We'll continue to refine that information, but our goal is to share as much information and be transparent with you, okay, on what's happening on our end. Prepare your customers. You decide what information you want to share with them, what you want to communicate to them, and how you want to roll the price increase out, right? You can still adjust your pricing however you want to, right? It's your decision to make on what to charge your customers. Okay, be ready to review that price increase in Peppery. No later than June 14th is when that information will be available. Hopefully we can get it done a little bit earlier. And then if you're going to opt out of margin protection, do that by noon on June 17th. Okay. So again, I understand with all the challenges you have faced, managing through the pandemic, handling a price increase right now is not something that you would voluntarily sign up for. It's just our reality, guys. When you look at the consumer price index, you will see the amount of increases in raw materials. When you look at the price increases that we've put on the toolbox or in the toolkit, you're going to see what we're actually getting. Okay. So, not a fun message to send. I wish we didn't have to do that right now, but it is our reality. Okay. We will take another look at where we're at on pricing in 90 days. And some prices, hopefully, we're at a peak, and hopefully those prices come down. And if those prices come down, we'll adjust our pricing appropriately. Okay. Hopefully we don't see more price increases, but we're going to put this price increase in June. We're going to let it sit for 90 days, and then we're going to see where we're at in 90 days. And I'll be communicating that with you. That'll just be part of my monthly updates now on what we're seeing in terms of inflation and CPI, and whether we need to do another price increase or if we're actually going to roll back some of the increases if we've gotten decreases from our vendors. All right. So as always, guys, appreciate everything you do. You know how to get a hold of me. If you have any comments or thoughts that you want to share in regards to the price increase, please reach out. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Let's do a good job of passing along this price increase so we can keep our businesses healthy. Thank you.